What's up everyone, ODC here, and I'm back with another action figure review. Today's review, we're going to take a look at the Transformers Siege War for Cybertron. This is Ironhide. Ironhide is pretty much one of my favorite characters growing up as a kid and even as an adult. And yeah, I think this is a really good representation of Ironhide here. I do have a little bit of a issue with the ankle, which I specifically wanted to review this version just to point the issue with my ankle out so those of you can look out for said issue in the future. Obviously, miles will vary per collector, per product, but I wanted to just point it out to you guys. I have a little bit of an issue right here in the ankle, as you can see right here, and the bottom of the ankle, it's kind of bowed outward right there. It's a little bit warped. It's not the end of the world. I can still move the ankle. It just tends to want to fall off sometimes if I overuse it too much. If I put too much pressure on it, it will slide out and pop out and fall out. It has a couple times, which can cause issues if he's just standing there. Usually the weight of the body does keep the joint in place, but it's just something to point out, something quality control issue that I wanted to point out for all of you collectors out there. But taking a look overall at Ironhide, he does come with his gun slash hammer you see right here, and just to get it back into rocket gun launcher mode, all of those included. Really nice paint apps for the gun itself. I think it looks really good, or rocket launcher, whatever you want to call it. I like the nice weathering effect it's got going on throughout the launcher. It's got this nice, like darker charcoal gray plastic as a base, and then over that is some nice silver paint detail kind of filling in those cracks and crevices to really give it that hardened look. And they could have just went the cheap route and given us just that darker gray plastic, but they didn't. Even with the little missiles inside there, you can see that each one of the missile tips are painted silver. It does mirror on the other side, essentially, where the paint apps are on one side, they are on the other. And then if you want to get him back into his hammer form, you just simply push that down like so, and it's pretty simple to do. He's got a handle right here, he's got a handle right there, and he's got a peg handle right here, and that's essentially if you want to have him hold it in his hand like so, you can do that as well for his gun. So he's a multi-purpose Ironhide, which I think is pretty cool. So if you want to have him in a hammer, or let's say he's all out of rockets and he needs to go to his melee, he can do that. On the figure itself, as far as his articulation does go, his head can swivel at a full 360 rotation if you need it to. Head can go up, it can go down, the arms can go up, and you can go up a little bit more. There's a little bit of a butterfly joint going up and down, like a hinge joint. And then you do have his regular hinge in his arm, so really good range of motion in the arm. And then you can swivel, and he does have a bicep swivel, a single jointed elbow, which is about 90 degrees. He does have a wrist swivel. He does have a waist joint. He can do the splits about that far. Legs can go forward, legs can go back. Upper thigh swivel, a single jointed knee, which is about 90 degrees. And he does have an ankle pivot. So pretty cool right there. I think as far as articulation does go, he's very well done. I overall really like the aesthetics of Ironhide here. I think he looks really cool. I like the little bit of visual paint detail, blemishes, battle damage that he does have on his feet. It does continue a little bit here and there. You do have some paint apps for his the front of his Cybertronian style bus, or minivan, I should say, that we're going to get into in a second. But for the majority of the paint apps, they are on his feet, and like I said, a little bit on that front headlight grill section. So it's not overdone. I know there's a lot of people complaining about the paint apps and how it looks like there's a bunch of mud and dirt on them. I don't really mind it. I mean, it's called War for Cybertron. It's not called Fashion Show for Cybertron. When you're at war, you get dirty, you get beat up, you get damaged, and it happens. So I know why there's a lot of G1 clean figure purists out there. I don't tend to mind it. I think it's something nice. If they were to give us lack of paint apps, it would probably be something else people would complain about. So I'm pretty happy with the overall product across the board when it comes to the Siege line. He's got a nice little Autobot symbol right there on the front of his chest. Looks really good. I think the face sculpt looks really on point. I am very much pleased with his face sculpt. Very well done, Hasbro. It's just this line is just making me very happy as a collector. And this is like the major Transformers line that I will probably get almost every single one. Not all of them, but the majority of them, as long as they have their own look, their own feel, their own character. Okay, since now we've gone through everything else, we might as well go through his getting him into his vehicle mode, which is actually quite simple with him. It's not very difficult at all, and it's actually quite a fun process. What I like to do is I like to kind of do my own style of transformation, which is I do it my way. There's the way the instructions tell you to do it. There's plenty of other reviewers show you how to do it, but I like to do it my way. It just makes me more comfortable. I don't have to remember, oh, I got to do this step next. You know, I just do it the way I want to. I like to open up this canopy, get rid of the head first. You can flip the head around the other way so the head is facing towards the outward of the windshield here, but I like to just kind of put it down like so. And then for your robot mode, you see this little ledge right here? You want to have that ledge fit into those for robot mode, not for vehicle mode. For vehicle mode here, we're going to simply bring this up and make sure that this window canopy is as flat as possible. When you have them in robot mode, this will poke out a little bit, but it'll fit right into those little slots, those little tabs right there for that ledge. Next thing I like to do is kind of bring this outward, the back portion outward, just to kind of get it out of the way. Let's do the arms next, and you want to make sure that these arms are facing up. As far as the shoulder joint is facing up, and then you got a tab hole up here and here, and you just want to plug those in like so. Make sure the fists are down. You don't have to make sure the fists are down. I think it looks a little bit cleaner. And then all you want to do next is kind of rotate this. But before you get to the rotation here for that section, I usually like to kind of mess with the legs a little bit, and I just want to bring these flaps up. They do tend to flop around a little bit. It's not the end of the world. Open up the leg flaps here as well, and then you're going to see a tab here and a hole here, and you simply just want to tab that, make sure that stays together, and then all you're going to do next is simply rotate this entire torso piece. And if you don't have the arms in the right way, they'll get in the way, so that way you know. It's kind of letting you know that, oh, hey, you have to make sure that these peg holes are faced upward. So, and then you just want to kind of bring everything back, make sure everything stays in place. Bring these canopy pieces up top. You'll see a tab hole there and a tab there. And you just want to tab those in like so. Yes, baby. Make sure the legs are pegged in too. Dusty Rose now going to take you through this. And then just simply peg those in like so. Then you want to bring this up. Peg that in. There's little tabs on the inside right here. There's a tab right there, and a tab hole and a tab right there. Just kind of want to line that up. Make sure that pops into place like that. Same thing on the other side. And there you go. There you have him. Ironhide in his vehicle mode. You can put him down there if you want to. And you can roll very nicely, actually. You can take his gun and you can peg it right here if you want. You can peg it back there. Wherever there's a hole, you can essentially peg it. So there you go. There's Ironhide in his vehicle mode. Looks pretty cool. Looks very nice, actually. Don't have any issues with this vehicle mode. The feet just kind of stay where they're supposed to for the vehicle mode. They don't really move or swivel in anywhere or anything like that. So pretty cool. Like I said, he rolls nicely. Don't have any issues with that. I like the Autobot symbol being right there. It just looks really cool. And like I said, also, you can swivel the head so it's facing up. So if you want to see his face, you can. It'll just be facing the opposite way. So it's up to you, whatever you want to see. But up close and personal for the vehicle mode, here you have the paint detail for the headlights, the front grille. Obviously, the gun we already went through. You got a little bit of gold paint right here for the side panels, some silver right here for the upper cab portion. A very Cybertronian looking van utility vehicle. It does say the little serial numbers right there, which is pretty cool. Overall, very nice. You got a little bit of the stamp right here for the figure underneath. That's what it looks like if you're curious. And then simply getting him back into robot mode, just take the gun off. I like to open up these legs first, unpop these, then kind of bring the arms up. Oops, let me readjust my camera here. There we are. And then bring the grill down like that, and then swivel this back up so the headlights are facing towards his crotch. Disconnect the legs, bring this over, bring this over, bring this flap down, bring that flap down, and then simply all you want to do next, readjust the camera again, is what I want to do next. Bring these arms down. Make sure that this grill piece is facing that way so it doesn't get in the way. Bring this down, rotate the arms over, bring this all the way back so it clips into place. Bring the head up until it pops in, like so. And there you have the arms, the legs. And now here's what I was talking about with that little ledge piece right here. This little piece. You want to make sure it goes into those grooves right there. So you simply just want to have you got a double hinge right here. Just want to kind of pop it. And then you'll see them fold right into place like that. And that's kind of what you want to have. He's on a little angle right there. So pretty cool. I like the transformation. Like I said, it's a lot of fun to do. I kind of like to have him with his hammer. I feel like Ironhide would hammer someone to death. But overall, I think he's a really nice looking figure. Very pleased aesthetically. Very pleased with the transformation. Okay, as far as size comparisons go, here we have him with 6-gun and Hound. Hound being on the left and 6-gun on the right. And he's obviously taller than both. I want to say Hound is probably the shortest of the three, and then you have 6-gun and then Ironhide there. Next up, we've got the Generations Ironhide on the left, and as you can see, it's a huge step up from that Generations Ironhide, which there's nothing really wrong with that Ironhide. It's a more of an IDW modernized Ironhide anyway, but I prefer the Siege one over it. And then you have Chromia from the same wave, and obviously she is the shortest of the three, but he is actually taller than his Generations line figure. Okay, next up we've got him next to Optimus Prime, and obviously he's Ironhide's still on the taller side for a deluxe figure, but he is not as tall as Optimus Prime, which I think these scale well together. So there you have a comparison with Optimus Prime. And last and least, it wouldn't be a video without him. We've got Sir Gideon Heavensbrand. I just really am excited about this this series, and I think this figure overall is definitely a 2 transforming thumbs up. So that's my final verdict for Ironhide here. I think the transformation's fun. The paint apps don't overdo it. He looks the part. I think this is a definitely one of the best Ironhide figures out there that Hasbro has done. I think it beats out the Generations, which is, I think, the only other one I really have from Hasbro. And it's just a solid pickup overall. So definitely go pick them up. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you for watching as always, and I'll see you guys on the flip side.